There are many philosophers that make the point that divine command theory is a subjectivist view. Mike Humer is one of them.
I think what he's saying there is something along the lines of that God, if God decided that torturing puppies for fun is good, then it would be good, and therefore, like, it's just arbitrary.
Danny never mentioned anything about something being arbitrary. But if God, out of his nature, says that torturing puppies for fun is morally good, then I think David Wood is compelled to say, then it's good.
Danny, if you've studied anything in the realm of moral philosophy, you should know how stupid you sound right now. And if you don't know how stupid you are right now, we can only attribute this to your atheism.
This is woke behavior, in my opinion. It's basically shutting down a conversation, just throwing out bad names so you don't have to deal with the argument. Mike Humer is not an idiot. He's a PhD from Rutgers in University of Colorado at Boulder. I got his bio up here. Is Mike Humer an idiot, David Wood?
Danny, I just have one question to you. Is God, in this case, in the same way a subject as you would be a subject in a typical subjective moral worldview? Please tell me.
Yeah, the answer is no. God's different. If this God exists, this God is different than me, than apostate prophet. I'm different as a subject than apostate prophet. So my question back right at ya, apostate prophet, is yes or no? Is God a subject? Yes or no?
Even if you're going to argue that you could make the point that divine command theory is a subjectivist view, is in that case the subjectivism here the same as the subjectivism in the regular sense that we were talking about, and in the discussion that you were having?
Yeah. So what apostate prophet here is doing is he's saying you're equivocating, Danny. Well, I could say you're special pleading, apostate prophet. You're saying, yeah, God's a subject, but he's a special kind of subject.
Please tell me this. Answer me this very simple question. Is it the same subject? Is it?
No, they're not the same subject. But, apostate prophet, don't you believe that all humans are created in the image of God? So even though we're not the same, we're kind of alike, yes? Just like many Christians believe that we subjects, humans, have libertarian free will. Not all Christians believe that, but most do. And we can exercise our will, our choice, wherever that comes from. So does God. So in that way, we are like God, where we can choose things out of our own free will. Unless you believe God doesn't have free will. But yes, God's a special subject.
Is it the same kind of subject? Is it the same kind of subjectivism? Please answer this question. Do you think that's sufficient?
I don't know why you're interacting with it. There comes a point where you're like, this is too stupid. Why are you interacting with
it? Do you think that's sufficient as a question you want to...
Yeah, this is woke behavior, in my opinion. I don't... why even talk to these bigots and homophobes? They're beneath us. We don't even talk to them, engage with them. Danny is in the live stream chat of this review, and he was also on Piers Morgan. Whenever I have a live stream and I'm critiquing someone who's on my screen and they happen to show up, I let them in. Why don't you let them in? Now, maybe there's practical reasons why you don't want to let him in, but I kind of suspect that if you let him in, then actually some of your listeners might actually say, hey, this Danny guy makes sense. And you can't have that. You can't allow an atheist to come on and say something reasonable that makes sense to the Christian viewers, because then they might doubt their Christianity, and then they might do some crazy things here on planet Earth, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but then they might actually end up in hell, and we don't want that. So if morality is subjective amongst humans, then why can't you say it's subjective when God decrees it from his nature? This is why Danny's saying what he's saying. This is why Mike Humer is saying what he's saying, that divine command theory is a subjectivist view.
Danny, Phil talked. So you refused to answer my question. I asked you one more time. One more final time. Is it the same kind of subject?
Humans and gods are different types of
categorically
subjects.
the same?
It says right here, I know you can't see it because of this. Humans, dogs, angels, gods are all different types of subjects. So the question was, are they the same type of subject? That was the question. Answer, humans, dogs, angels, gods are all different types of subjects. Here's the bottom line. The bottom line is you're never going to convince, no, I shouldn't say never. You're rarely going to convince a Christian that the morality that is based in God is subjective. You're not going to convince them of that. They need that objectivity because then they have more gravitas to say, you really got to do what I say because God said so. Or God, out of his nature, has made it so. Something like that. And so they're compelled to say, to special plead and say, God as a subject is in a different category as God as a human, even though humans are created in God's image. And that's that. And I could, like David would just say, hey, if you believe that God is, that the morality that stems from God's nature is not subjective, you're an idiot. And then you would say to me, well, you're an idiot for believing the opposite. Okay, we're all idiots, now what?